with that in mind,
come on in.
Get in here. All right. Well, this is the after show. This is not official. It'll be clipped off the end of our podcast. So anything goes at this moment. Folks are welcome to join. Right. Don't know if we have any participants waiting to get in, but the link is out there on our X channel. So go check that out. But if you don't want to talk to us, we'll see if we can keep it going here. I brought my favorite Scott Adams book with me today. It's this one right here. Oh, wait.
Dealing with people you can't stand.
Sorry. Wrong book. Reframe
your brain.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, also behind me, Reframe Your Brain. I would call that one the book about self-persuasion, because it's really about your own headspace and getting your mind wrapped around how to perceive things in a way that is more palatable, I guess, is kind of how I would describe that. And then I loaned it to you. Did you like it, Stephen?
Yeah, I did. I
Don't
thought
say
that
no,
it was
you're going to piss people off.
No, I thought that it was
great.
I hadn't heard of the book before you had suggested it to me, so it was I liked it. It was a good read through, and like I feel like I learned how to think about, or like reframe how I think about quite a bit in life, and I've had to do that recently at work. So I feel like I've even used things that I personally took from that book and have been able to apply it to like my work life. So I feel like I'm a personal example of that book, having a positive impact. So
it's funny because I hadn't even realized, but I'm thinking about it now, and I know some of the things that you might be talking about. And I remember you walking through some of your own reframes about how you were kind of looking at certain situations and things like that, without divulging too much. And I thought that was a great practice, and I never even thought about the fact that you were actually reframing things at the time. But that makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, like I thought I had things pretty well figured out, but you go through things that you can't control, and you start to get feedback from people around you, and you start to realize that things are a little different than maybe you thought things were, and that those kind of realizations, like if you don't reframe quickly on how you approach that kind of stuff, then it can just send you in a spiral where you're just upset all the time, you're stressed out. And when I get upset and stressed, it's because usually something's not right, and I need to basically reframe whatever it is that's not correct. And I thought I had a little more control than I do. Turns out I have no control. So therefore I need to totally change my perspective to be like, well, okay, well, things that happen that are out of my control is everything. So I shouldn't really take anything too personal or be too stressed about it, because I have no control. If I could control things, then they'd go well, I'm sure. But I can't control
it. Wouldn't be life. It's because life is all about things not being in control, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like it, maybe if you're a more technical person where you have like development skills where you can like write code or something, you could probably control maybe a little bit more of the outcome because you're writing code. But even then, things don't work all the time, and you have to adjust. And even though you thought you had a solid script, it breaks or whatever. So yeah,
understood. Yeah. What do they say? Can't remember if it was which one of the Beatles that said life is what happens when you're making other plans. So
I I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly who said that. That's a good one.
I may have butchered that, I don't know, but, yeah, the reframes really helped me out. I did a video. It's also linked on our I don't know if I did put that on our X, probably only on, TikTok right now. Steven and I are really trying to get up with the times here, right? You know? Kinda,
Yeah. All this
um
social media stuff, it takes a lot of energy. That's for
it
sure.
really does, and so we realized that we need to have a presence on TikTok, which means we have to kinda take some of our content and kinda turn it into these, shorter little videos that people can consume or whatever, so, um,
Yeah.
and then, to that end, I had, created a short little, plug for, Reframe Your Brain, and one of the things I talk about in there is the reframe that I had to create for myself so that I could deal with those long commutes, and so, I wound up having to, reframe it as opportunities for kindness. So, um, when I get out there on the
Expand on
road
that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, um, there are everybody else is also trying to just get through their commute and be on their way too. And there are jerks on the road. There's no doubt about it. But for by and large, I think most people are just trying to do their best, not kill anybody, get to A to B and stuff. So, with that kind of thought in mind, instead of trying to get into a position or whatever on the road before somebody else gets there or whatever, and I could see that they're trying to make a move in. Usually, I'd be like, "Oh, you bastard! Tried to cut me off," and instead, it's just like, "Come on in." It's just like Scott Adams, "Come on in." So, when you change your thought process on that from those bastards to it's gonna happen, come on in, you know
Yeah.
it just changes everything. I also took those as opportunities to listen to Scott Adams in the morning when I was driving to work. So I would leave the house 7 a.m. Pacific time, just exactly when the show was starting, and so I'd probably just be sitting on my ass at home, listening to that. So I
Isn't
might as well, just,
It's
right?
nice to have something consistent that you can, like, bank on every day. So
Yeah,
having a show like that where you can tune in every day, you know what to expect and actually look forward to it,
yeah.
like, that's it's really nice. Like,
I really
it takes
miss
a lot of
that,
effort to put on a daily show, for sure.
and that's. You mentioned that, gives me a great time to show this if I can get it to show. No, it won't show. Um, Scott Adams always referred to all the other podcasters as those lazy podcasters, those slackers, because that man would do a podcast every day, rain or shine, very, very few breaks in between. Holidays, he'd be on, and it wasn't really because he necessarily wanted to do it, except that he enjoyed being with his people, the people that joined to listen. So he just everybody became kind of family in that Scott Adams community. Um, anyway, I
That's
have a little
cool.
cartoon I made. Can I show you my cartoon?
Show us. I'm gonna take a bite of a Cliff Bar.
Oh, you can do that while this is up. Oh, actually, I think I can get this to show. Well, first I'll show you this. And I've showed this a couple of other times. This is my idea for what Scott's book ought to be called. So, this Scott Adams, the Professor of Persuasion. But it's really more like how Scott Adams saved the world. Um, the reason I say that, and then I think you're probably familiar by now too, Stephen, that um, there is a reframe that Scott came up with. I want to say it's probably only a couple, 3 years old, maybe longer, but I remember hearing it probably more in the last couple years that alcohol is poison. And it seems like such
Yeah.
a simple thing, but if you could for a moment kind of think about that, you might be able to convince yourself without too much effort that that's probably true. Um, I mean, I've had my fair share of drinking. Um, I like drinking. I like alcohol. I like the taste of alcohol. It's not anything like, but about 3 years ago, I had been going through some stress and my tummy just wasn't happy with me. And whenever I did drink, it was just like, oh God, so I had to stop for a little bit of that time. And then after that time cleared, my tummy was feeling better and all that. I was, I could start drinking again, I just didn't because by then I'd heard that reframe, alcohol is poison. And so it's like, I don't really have a good reason to start again. So 3 years now, 3 years, no alcohol. And it's not,
Congratulations.
yeah. And it's not necessarily that I had a huge alcohol problem. I've abused alcohol. That's who, well, not many could say they probably haven't. um,
Yeah.
but
If you've been drunk, technically that's like the
that's
entry
abuse.
level of abusing alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm good at that. I've done it before. I'm an expert pro at that, actually. Um, but it's probably way better if I don't, and so I just don't. But anyway,
Yeah. I feel like a
that's
lot of
all I
people
was
view
going to say
alcohol
about
as an
that.
escape or as something that helps, So,
Mhm.
um, but if it's making you sick and it is, technically could be considered poison because you can die from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah,
So, it's better to view it that way for your health than to view it as an escape or something that you need in order to
sure.
get through your day. There's definitely a different view.
Yeah. Actually, what I thought it did is I thought it made me a better karaoke singer. It turns out I was
Hey,
really way off on that one.
I mean, I mean, that helps you get on stage easier. Like
Yeah.
social lubricant is what they can call it.
Yeah,
So,
and I haven't done karaoke, at a bar in a long time, and if I did, I would be doing it sober because I don't have any good reason to drink now, um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
at the same time, I would probably miss that liquid courage, um,
You'd think about everything a little more.
yeah, yeah, anyway, whatever, now the thing I wanted to show you before and I actually, screwed up and clicked the wrong thing was this cartoon I made, and only certain people will get it, but here it is. It was a Persuasion Club comic.
And a
Um,
persuasionist.
yeah. This is from, if anybody hasn't caught what the parody is on this one, is classic Mel Brooks, History of the World. Um, and so in this particular spoof, she asks occupation. He's like, stand up persuasionist. And she's like, oh, a persuasion artist. And the original movie, I don't know if you remember, it was like, oh, a bullshit artist. So it's kind of the
Oh,
same. It's kind of the same. And that's when he's like, "Grr." A bullshit artist. And then it ends, did you persuade last week? Because it's the unemployment line. So that's the question that I have for all our viewers is, did you persuade last week? Because if you didn't, then you ought to be. You should persuade. That didn't have anything to do with Scott Adams, but I did show my cartoon. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Um,
mm.
I could. Oh, I want to show you something cool. I wonder if we can. Yeah, I should be able to do this, but I just need to bring it up in a different window. So, ScottsDebris.com is a site that I heard about on X. Oh, damn, it's not working. Why not?
Uh-oh.
Maybe I have the domain wrong. But it's really cool. It's basically AI Scott. it's been fed with all of his episodes of Coffee with Scott Adams. I don't know how that was done, but you can ask it, um, and it'll tell you what Scott would have said about any particular subject. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. See if you keep talking to me, Steve, and I'll answer while I'm looking this up. No, no,
I
no
was
pressure.
just thinking about your question about did you persuade last week, and was just thinking, how did I persuade last week? I feel like uh, so I'm trying to think of, wow, there's a few examples. I guess it's interesting going through all this persuasion stuff where it's like persuasion is so simple and it can take forms, it can take shape in many ways, and some of it can be even like as simple as a handshake. And I'm just trying to think of all the ways that persuasion kind of made its way into my life the last week. So anyway, that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like hmm, to say that I actually intentionally went out to persuade is probably not the right description. What I set out to do was to learn more persuasion and then tell others about it, which I think
Mm,
actually feels like has worked.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Um,
it's come up in a lot of conversations. So definitely.
I think what we might do, just for fun, if anybody wants to see, so Persuasion Club, folks, if you're here for the first time, is a new podcast. This is our third episode, and we're planning to do these after show parties where people can come in and hang out with us and talk about the episode, talk about persuasion, whatever you want to do. So they're very loose. Anyway, we can just do whatever we want. But usually we'd like to have people in the show. Um, so we'll probably keep this going for a little while. But if somebody doesn't join, we'll probably call it good for the evening, so we can
Okay.
relax and enjoy the rest of our weekends and such. But this is our
The
Scott
holiday
Adams
weekend.
after party. Let's see, we got a notification, and that's actually one of the things I want to do too. Is just kind of talk a little bit about the people that we've been starting to get to know out there in persuasion land. So I
Yeah.
believe if I share my screen this way and then choose the window, then choose this and hit share, and then I have to hit presentation over here. And now it should
Oh,
be
I
showing
can
our,
see.
yeah, I can see it. So, all right, folks, you're seeing it from our side. We've been interacting and talking to people out there. Here I was getting a like from somebody who liked the title that I had chosen for Scott's book. In case you forgot, it's this Professor of Persuasion: How Scott Adams Saved the World. And here's a good thing that we could bring up is that I think that the book title has already been chosen for his biography, and so
Yeah,
uh,
I heard.
I thought that I would go ahead because I know it wasn't mine. That maybe I would go ahead and write my own book just on the um, influence that Scott Adams has had in my life. I think I could write a pretty funny book, that's what I'd be going for is funny, but also do it in a way that teaches persuasion the way that Scott would have done it would be really cool. And that might even be kind of like our first release as Persuasion Club of any kind of book or something like that. So might need you to kind of help me co-write that if you're interested. But
Yeah,
anyway, it's just a
that sounds
thought.
like a
It's a
journey.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like another journey, as if I really uh, don't have enough to do already. So, but you know, we'll
Life's not
we'll
busy
we'll see.
enough.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but then I kind of started to wonder what are the implications of so you write a book and anybody can write a book, I understand, but then sometimes books might include like I you couldn't talk about Scott Adams without including a Dilbert sample, so I would want to be able to find my favorite Dilberts or maybe just the ones that resonated with me the most. Well, I can't just stick those in my book without permission. So my question was like how would we continue to honor Scott's legacy and make sure that we do things in a way that doesn't legally infringe upon his estate and his copyrights and his ownerships and things like that. So I asked that question actually on an X Spaces with Owen Gregorian on Saturday, and that essentially I think is something that would resonate with anybody who is trying to keep Scott Adams' legacy protected and alive. So it was a question that I think a lot of people might be interested in knowing the answer to. So anyway, I kind of digress on that a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to mention that Spaces thing because just because it was pretty cool. Owen Gregorian, if you haven't followed him, is a really great follow. Excuse me. This is now where I can actually let out a few belches and hopefully care. I
let him fly.
All right. I'm gonna go through some more of these, but let me make sure that there's nobody waiting to get in.
When you talk about writing a book,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever written like any other kind of books or short stories or anything like that before? Or is this like your first big project?
Yeah, I've done some writing, but it's always been incomplete. I've never finished anything that I've ever started. If anything, it's always been like the first chapter or something like that, and then I never keep it going. So it actually will be amazing if I even do any of this that I'm talking about, but you never know. This might be the thing that persuades me.
Yeah, you got to persuade yourself to do that. That takes a lot of energy. But I feel like if you have good thoughts and you can like let it flow, the editing of the words can come later, but getting it out is, I feel like, an art in itself. So.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then so let me expand upon some of that because we're kind of talking about the connections that we're making. This fellow here invited us to be on his show, and I think that's something we ought to consider. I went and checked out the show from last night just a little bit. I didn't have a chance to really check it out too much, but it looked interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the one I was telling you about, Stephen.
Yeah, I went and checked out their last stream as well. They seem very chill and very open and looking for conversation, which is good.
Here's me engaging with somebody completely unrelated on bitchin' sauce. I don't know. Have you ever had bitchin' sauce? You're a Costco fan.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't think I've actually had it.
Yeah. So I had just for fun, I was just commenting around and kind of tried to interact and stuff like that on X today. And so I think it's the account. Is it Greg? It's probably on here somewhere. Actually, right up here. Greg. Yeah, his big long number after his name. He's a kind of a parody fun account. If you've never seen Greg, kind of fun. But anyway, that's his Greg. Cracks me up because he looks funny. So he does these things, where he'll just post like, "Hey, I'm going to Costco. Anybody need anything?" So I said, "Get some bitchin' sauce." And then somebody replied back, and like, there's this whole story about bitchin' sauce. How there's two brothers, and then the sister and her husband reportedly, allegedly, kind of stole the business out from under them. So the brothers went back and started a whole new version of it, apparently, that's even better than this, which I can't imagine because I love bitchin' sauce. So anyway,
interesting. Drama, family drama.
Yeah. Oh, Sergio. I love Sergio. He's great. He's in the X Spaces, and I've been enjoying my banter with Sergio. He's one of the folks that are probably more well connected into the Scott Adams family. Good guy to get to know. Yeah, this is in reply to the X Spaces that was going on this morning, because I was trying to get into that one, and X was glitching like you wouldn't believe. So it just didn't work. And then my reply to that was the meme from Spaceballs, where the self destruct doesn't work, and they're like, "Oh fuck! Even in the future, nothing works." True Gazoo says these guys aren't dum dums. Trust me, these guys. Yeah. So True Gazoo. Here's me saying that Scott was an amazing man. That his reach far exceeds his earthly life. Halsey's, I think, either Oregonian or from Washington, but has taken notice. And I wouldn't mind getting to know Halsey a little bit more. We were talking about there's these Scott Adams meetups that are starting to happen all over the place now, and so I had kind of thrown out the idea of maybe doing one in Salem. But
Cool.
Let's see. Yeah, this poor guy Chuck Brown, another person that wasn't able to connect to Owen's X Spaces this morning, and I kind of just think that in some ways the internet was glitching and just being a pain in the ass. So SJV, he was on our show last week. It was his first debut on video, I think, ever. And I've heard some other people even mention it. I think it was mentioned on the X Spaces yesterday. So we have the privilege of actually having JV on the show, and I have no idea what that means. But I think
probably just initials or something.
It's SJV, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the dude, that's just what you call him. So,
it's just their name. That's what it is.
But I mean, look at this guy. He looks like God. Remember when he came on the show and he was just like,
yeah,
totally looked like God, man. Maybe he is God.
Yeah.
I just don't know it. Anyway.
Could be.
Hi, SJV. Loving getting to know you. Here's a little more conversation. And I thought he did a great job. He articulated himself very well, and he kind of talked a little bit about persuasion from the Trump level. And as I kind of mentioned in when I was on, love him, hate him, whatever. But you can't really be a student of persuasion without at least studying him and studying his methods. So I think we might have gotten a fan out of that. I hope so, Phil. Anyway, going down a little bit more. What I wanted to get to is some of the cooler stuff that I had been posting. So I'm going to just like all the way down here, because somewhere in here is, yeah, this is it right here. I made this video for Scott. And honor him. See if I can make it a little bigger. I don't know if that'll work or not. Whoa, that's too fucking big.
Big.
Sorry for my language, folks. It's after show language.
It's the after show.
Another thing that we could really benefit from with this show is that, so there's my cartoon that I showed you guys earlier. I must have scrolled past what I was going to show you. So let me go back up. Oh, it's my ugly mug. Here. You guys want to see my video that I made about reframing? Yeah, my TikTok video. Here we go.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it? You're not hearing it?
I don't hear it, no.
Well, I could stop. Okay. Let me do this. I will unshare. And then I will reshare and make sure I'm hitting that button. Yeah, it says also share tab audio. So I
Nice.
I did do it. Let me go back to our X. See if that'll show. Okay.
Listening.
I'll try it again. Yeah. Okay. But we're getting latency again. It's just really awful today. And I don't think it's me. Piece of shit. Well, this isn't the show, so it's okay. I don't mind letting it go a little bit, but
Let it buffer.
there's
Yeah.
definitely something going on.
So these meetups that you're talking
So,
about that for Scott Adams, what do they focus on? Or is it just like a book club kind of chatty kind of thing?
yeah. What you mean? What are they? Like, what are they about?
Yeah, like is it just like
I didn't quite hear your question.
fans meet up and yeah, how does the
Yeah,
Scott Adams
pretty much.
meetup
Yeah,
thing
I don't
work?
think there's
Yeah.
any agendas. Yeah, they just get together, get coffee, sip, and talk about Sky Adams and stuff. I think. Yeah. We got some big time latency where I think we're maybe missing about 5 or 10 seconds of each other. So I'm going to pause for just a second
Oh no.
and let
Okay.
things catch up.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll try that and see
The
if
internet can't keep
that
up
works
with
better.
us
So we're
today.
caught up.
It still seems a little laggy.
It's us, man. Yeah. It is laggy today. I'm very disappointed in that, but it might be um, a sign of the times. I don't know. I know people in Iran can't get the internet these days.
And
Unless you have
thankfully
Starlink.
we have thankfully we
Ooh,
have
that's what I need. Maybe I need me some
the
Starlink.
crazy infrastructure.
Yeah.
Starlink would be nice.
Um, so I've been looking all the replies because I wanted to find that Scott Adams. Yeah. I'm going to look real quick, see if it comes up to me. But the link for that website, Scott's Debris, if it'll work, I'd like to bring it up. So here's all my videos again. As you can see, I'm pretty active in trying to at least cross promote and get our material out there because
Yeah.
without growing the show and getting to know folks, and more folks, it's not going to work. So we need to grow our audience to make it. I wouldn't say worth doing, but at the same time, I think that it's more fun when we do things with other folks instead of just on our own. So. Da, da, do, 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 boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna go down, down. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I mentioned that if we were going to do persuasion battles in live persuasion battles, like we've toyed with doing, that I think I mentioned that to somebody that it would be kind of like Toastmasters on crack. I know that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Uh-oh. Getting some more breakup.
Okay, how are we doing now?
Oh, I hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Hey, check. Oh, it's not here, but we got reposted by Jack Pasobic. That's actually pretty big. I think the guy's about views on this con. So come on in. All those other lazy podcasters can't keep up. Or Rumble Studio doesn't even work in heaven.
It doesn't work anywhere.
It doesn't work in heaven. It doesn't work on earth. It doesn't work anywhere, Scott. I'm afraid that's the case. So we're getting closer. I know that eventually I will find this link because it was so cool. I must have replied to a lot of people. I think that's probably the most I've ever replied to people. Bookish B. I don't know who you are, but I've seen you, and I think I've heard you. If I remember, you were in the spaces the other day. Hey, how's it going? Good to meet your acquaintance. I wonder if I can do a search. No, I don't see a search in here.
Probably like Control F.
Maybe. Yeah, let's try that and see. If I do a Control F and look for debris.
If you've scrolled past it, it should go back.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible, but it would have been like way at the bottom here because it was like one of the very first comments that I think I started making from this account. So yeah, it's way down here somewhere. But I know I'm close. That's the thing. I feel it. Like I said, I know that link is right in here. If anybody knows, I don't know, can you put it in the chat or something? It was Scott's debris. Maybe it was .org. Maybe I could just try that and see. But or .net. But it was super cool is the thing. That's why I'm spending so much time trying to find it because it was like having Scott Adams back almost. He was like he was alive. So also probably scrolling too fast. Well, it's not going to be found, I don't think. But maybe we'll have that for the next after party or something like that. Hey, we got 2 vacations. And yeah, some people are liking our podcast and checking us out. So that's cool.
Nice.
Welcome, folks. If you're just joining us, this is our after show party. We appreciate you joining us. We got a few folks here that have commented and liked us. We appreciate that. Give us a follow if you can. Or we know you can, but if you would, that would be wonderful. Helps us grow, gets our reach out there, and such. Got another notification. What else do we got? Yeah, nothing. Nope. And it's 8:00. This is
8 p.m.
my phone. 8:00 means hippo time. It's our 3 cats here are referred to them as hippos because they eat so much.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I wanted to do a little bit more in this after show, and I was hoping that more folks would join in, make it a little bit easier to have a good conversation. Hey, but we're getting other people liking our post as we speak, so that's pretty neat.
That's cool.
But I think that we might go ahead. Before we go, maybe I can do a random reframe from the book.
All right. Let's do it.
Idea? Okay. And then we'll end the show and call it good for the night. Pick a number between 30 and 200.
112.
112. Yeah, we're going to go to page 112. All right. There is another way to frame cleaning your room that you might prefer. This reframe recognizes the physical environment as part of your mind, even if it is not physically connected to your brain. When you put your brain in an organized and pleasant environment, your mind picks up that vibe. If your room or workspace looks like a garbage truck exploded, your mind will be distracted by the chaos. I use this reframe. The usual frame is, my mind is my brain. The reframe is, my mind includes my brain, body, and physical environment. Any change to one changes the others. And that is absolutely true. That is a reframe, and Scott has spoken of that one often. The body brain connection. We kind of tend to look at those two things as separate, but they're not. They're really one, and one can't survive off the other, without the other. And if one is not in good condition, then the other will suffer, and vice versa. So, to look at things holistically, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I like the example. I feel like it's true. Like chaotic surroundings can make it so it's hard to think straight if you feel some sort of off vibe, but you're not sure what it is, but it's really your surroundings and your kind of physical space. That makes total sense. And
Absolutely.
connecting them all is a really wise way to look at it.
All right. Well, I think that's good enough for us tonight. We've been at this since about 5:30, Stephen and I. So 2.5 hours in. Still not as long as an Owen Gregorian Spaces, but I don't even know how those guys do it. But yeah, we'll keep the persuasion stuff going. We hope you join us for our next show Sunday night. That'll be episode 4. We'll see if we can work out the tech glitches. But I get the feeling that for today, it's probably the internet itself. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and play us off and wish everybody a great night. So
have a great night. Thank you.
Good song as we celebrate Scott Adams. Don't forget about me.
Great song.
Come on in.